Hi everyone, I am Christine Polizos from Orexi, and I am so excited that you are joining me for my online Fillo Spanakopita Masterclass. In order to prepare for this class, I need to show you how to clean and wash your greens. We won't have enough time on the day of the class to do it during the class, so I need you to buy the greens ahead of the class, prepare them, and have them ready to go on the day. So let's do it.
Okay, so let's make a start. I like starting with the spring onions. I don't know why, I just always do. I think they're probably really easy to manage. So we have 2 bunches of spring onions. And the first thing that I do is I actually come down here to the base of the spring onion and I just cut the end off like that. And a little bit of one layer came off as well. Very nice. So this looks pretty good. This leaf is sort of broken, but it doesn't look like it's decomposing in any way. The ends look quite nice too, maybe a tiny little trim because it just got a tiny bit of brown. And then I just set that to the side. So I'll just pop that down there. Sometimes the outer leaves are a little bit messy, so we actually need to remove these. So you can just peel that back like that, cut the end. Again, check this end. They both look like really nice bright green ends. So that's ready to go. If you want to, you can maybe trim that a little bit back too. Ready. Okay, the spring onions are all ready. They've been cleaned of any yucky looking leaves and topped and tailed a bit. And now we're on to the bunch of dill, which is a nice big bunch of dill. So this is what gives it flavor, the spanakopita. So make sure that you get a really good bunch that's nice and large, otherwise 2 bunches. So just removing the elastic. I grab one section and I basically put the dill together so that all the frondy leafy bits are together. So that one there, like that. Okay, and then I just, with my knife, Greek style, I just cut those stalks off and I have the beautiful green tops. So I do that with all of the dill. I'll keep going, you do yours. Okay. All of our dill is ready. We've got all the leafy frondy bits looking mighty fine. They just need to be washed really thoroughly. All of these need to be washed really, really, really thoroughly because we don't want any gritty soil in our spanakopita. Okay, speaking of spinach, beautiful bunches of spinach. Removing the elastic. We actually keep our elastics because they can be recycled, so I'm not allowed to cut them. Spinach preparing method. Okay, we grab one section. The first thing that I do is I look for decomposing bits of spinach, which I remove. Then I look for leaves that are kind of, or stalks that are damaged, like that one. And I cut them off the base and then I place them in such a way that when I eventually do cut through here, I can cut all the yucky bits away from this particular leaf. So the rest of this, there's a section that doesn't really have a leaf on it. There's a bit of a break there. Again, I put the break so that it's kind of up the top here, and then I grab my knife and cut the yucky bits. All right, so what's left is nice firm stalks, nice leaves, not decomposing leaves. They can have like tears and things like that, but as long as they're not looking like they're, you know, putrefying and decomposing, because that's not a flavor that we really want to add to our spanakopita. So as long as they look really nice and robust like this, we keep them and we set them down. How good is this? This one, every single stalk is intact, not bent, good looking leaves, and just a little trim on the top. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, put that down. Okay, let's see if I can find one that looks a bit messier. Okay, here's a nice messy one. Okay, so I've got lots of short stalks, broken stalks, putrefying stalks. So remove the yucky bits. Number 1, cutting off the ones with the broken stalks and popping them across here so that all of that gets cut away. And oops, oh, missed that one, but that's okay. We can just cut it there. We've got a beautiful leaf that we can add to our pita. And here, one bunch down and one to go. A lot of people ask, can I use baby spinach? No, you cannot use baby spinach because it doesn't have body, it doesn't have texture. You have to embrace the clean and the wash of real English spinach. It is a bit of effort, but I can tell you that in time you will almost find it meditative preparing your spinach, and then ending up with this beautiful pile of perfect stalks and leaves that you can then turn into a beautiful, beautiful spanakopita. All of our greens have been cleaned. They haven't been washed, but they've been cleaned. Got a beautiful pile of spinach leaves ready to go, and some dill and some spring onions. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to compost them, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to wash the veggies. Okay, so now we're going to wash all the veggies. So we're going to go in reverse. We're going to start with spinach. Spinach can often have quite a lot of soil and sand in it, so it's really, really important that we wash all of that soil and sand out. I'm lucky enough to have 2 troughs, so what I do is I fill a trough with water and I put my spinach in there and agitate it, and then I pick them up and put them in the other trough and fill that with water, and back and forth I go until there is no sand or soil at the bottom of the trough. Then you know it's clean and can be used to cook. So let's make a start. You need to fill your trough up enough so that there's actually a volume of water between the base of your trough and the base of your veggies, which tend to float. Because as you agitate the spinach, the soil is going to loosen off and settle to the bottom of the sink. If you don't have that volume of water separating your spinach and the bottom of the trough, then you're going to literally be picking the sand up again as you take the spinach out. So make sure that you do a little bit of overfilling, and then you very gently agitate the spinach. Some of the leaves and some of the stalks may break a bit, but that's okay. But try and be gentle. All right, and then you pick them up and you transfer them to a second trough. This spinach isn't too bad at all. You can see there is some sand and soil here, but it's not too bad. I've certainly had worse. Okay, so we drain that away and we're going to rinse that off really well. We're going to get rid of every grain of soil and sand. In the meantime, we're going to fill this trough up with water. So this is the second wash. Give them a nice little agitation. Again, a good volume of water. All right, the original sink that we did the first wash in has been cleaned really, really thoroughly. And we'll close that up and we'll get it going, and we'll transfer these back to the original. So there are a few little grains of sand that I can feel. So it definitely needs a third wash, but I believe that after this third wash, we won't find any sand. So, because there's hardly any in this one, but you can feel a few grains here and there. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the final wash of the spinach. If you wash your spinach a third time and you still find soil, you're going to have to keep washing it until there's no soil or sand at the bottom of your trough. Okay, so one final little agitation, and then I pick it up and I drain it. Okay, and I lay it down on a very clean work surface. No sand or soil there. No point washing the spinach and then putting it on a dirty work surface. Okay, so here we go. Last little bit of drainage and leaf collection. Okay. If you have a very large bowl that you can put these in, put them in the large bowl, and you can add the spring onions and the dill to that bowl as well, and then wrap them in glad wrap or feed them into a large clean garbage bag and pop them in the fridge. You've got to keep them in a nice cool place because spinach is quite delicate. If it's warm where you are, then make sure that these are in a cool place until our cooking class, okay? So the next thing we're going to clean is the dill. All right. Dill can have soil as well, but it tends to be cleaner than spinach. So same kind of thing. Here we are. Just a little bit of agitation, and then I just pick them all up, and I look for soil, and there is a few little funky grains of this and that, so I'm going to give it another rinse. Dill is having its second wash. It should be fine after that. I don't actually wash the dill with spinach because during the preparation and cooking phase, I handle the dill separately to the spinach, so don't mix them up and wash them together. Just an FYI, okay? Last but not least, the easiest things to clean, the spring onions. Okay, so basically, I would just run them under the tap like this. And just clean them. Okay, now, here we go. Storage, overnight storage. All right, I am gonna get a paper towel, and I'm going to wrap the dill in the paper towel, just like so, and that way it remains separate from the rest. I will use a big garbage bag, a plain garbage bag, and pop all of this into here. Whee! And there it is. Collect the remainder of your leaves. I've got a bit of a puddle there, but that's okay. And pop your dill in there. And then just kind of squeeze the air out of it. Squeeze the air out of it. Do a little twist and pop that in your fridge. All right, and this will be ready to go on the morning that we're going to make our beautiful spanakopita. I cannot wait to teach you this recipe. I cannot wait for you to open your own Fillo and feel the joy and success of making something like this, something so beautiful from scratch, and enjoying it with your loved ones. See you soon.